Yes, people, what's happening? And welcome back to the channel and welcome to the match reaction for Heidenheim 0, Chelsea 2. Make sure you're smashing the likes, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, all of that good stuff. And as always, leave your thoughts in the comments below. And Chelsea maintain their 100% record in the Conference League. 4 wins from 4. Qualification for the next round guaranteed with a 2-0 win in Germany. This was definitely our toughest test of the competition. Heidenheim did cause us a few problems. It is probably the toughest test for the B team since the Carabao Cup game against Newcastle. So yeah, it was tricky. You know, it really was tricky. The lineup was exactly how I thought it would be. We obviously had the front four of Mudryk, Sancho, Nkunku, and Mykhailo. Dewsbury Hall and Casadei in midfield. Jorgensen in goal. And then obviously Disasi at right back, Badiashile and Tosin with Renato Vega at left back. And it has to be honest, the first half was pretty lifeless, to be perfectly honest. Really not an awful lot to say about it. We weren't quick enough. The pace of the game was way too slow. We made some poor defensive errors. All 3 centre-backs making poor defensive errors in the first half. And we weren't clinical enough either. We didn't have loads and loads of chances, but we missed a couple of big ones. Nkunku guilty of missing some. Mykhailo as well, missing a few opportunities. You know, the midfield lacked energy, to be perfectly honest. There weren't really any runners in there who were able to carry the ball. And there wasn't much dynamism in there either with the likes of Dewsbury Hall and Casadei. And look, Casadei had a reasonably good game, red card aside, at the end, which I think was a very soft second yellow card. Referee was a little bit card happy. Badiashile soft booking literally about 30 seconds into the bloody game. But we did come out in the second half and we made a bit of a better go of things. You know, Nkunku gets his customary Conference League goal, his 11th of the season. You know, Disasi does well to win the ball back. And then we exploit that, you know, past the Sancho into Nkunku. Nice touch, good feet, and a standard finish from him there. Obviously, you know, it's an interesting one because Heidenheim had a lot of disallowed goals, right? And to be fair, you're sort of thinking, oh, are we not defend? Is it our defensive line is really good? And the defensive line was really good, by the way, but some of their offsides were utterly ridiculous. No wonder they were getting to the ball first and putting it in the back of the net. They're about 4, 5, 6 yards ahead of play. So of course they were getting there. You know, at times there was like 4 or 5 players all offside at the same time. So you looked at it and it's kind of like, well, no wonder they were always unmarked in the box because they were so far ahead of play. So a little bit sort of brain dead from them, but also praise for our defensive line and how we managed to keep that, because that's not an easy skill to do, and we defended reasonably well. The clean sheet was much needed as well. So yeah, look, I would say a positive night. Nothing too exciting to write home about. I thought Jorgensen was good. Nkunku, Vega, Mudryk with a brilliant goal at the end as well. Fantastic finish in the top bin. Sancho with another 2 assists. And those 4 in particularly played well. We should have killed the game off much earlier than the last couple of minutes. But I think, what is it? It's about 17, 18 goals scored. I think we've conceded 4 goals in the Conference League. And we've already played what are, from what I can work out, probably 3 of the better teams in the competition. And it means now we're in a perfect situation for that long midweek trip to Astana in a couple of weeks' time, where we can just play a load of the academy players, give minutes to players who desperately need them and who deserve them as well. Give good first team opportunities to the likes of Tyreek, George Raksaki. Hopefully Josh Akinpong situation sorted by that. Maybe we can give Mykhailo some minutes as well. So yeah, look, things are all rosy in the garden in terms of the Conference League. And someone who deserves a lot of praise tonight is Filip Jorgensen. Absolutely outstanding performance. And if it wasn't clear beforehand, it was clear to pretty much all Chelsea fans, but this guy is miles better than Robert Sanchez. Miles better than Robert Sanchez. Pulled off a string of wonderful saves. That one at the near post is exactly what Sanchez should have done against Arsenal. but obviously he failed to do so. It was a really, really good performance from him. Jorgensen's shot stopping is not any worse than Sanchez. It's probably better, and he looks a lot more comfortable with the ball at his feet than Sanchez does. There's a calmness when he's on the ball at the back. We seem to play out from the back a lot better when Jorgensen's in goal compared to when Sanchez is in goal. He's not playing players into danger. He's picking the right passes. His distribution is a lot better than a lot of people actually think it is. And Jorgensen was man of the match, and he really showed himself today. That was his best performance in a Chelsea shirt. And Sanchez should be on his toes. Absolutely should be on his toes, because Jorgensen showed in that display tonight that he is absolutely no worse than Robert Sanchez. So for me, he should be starting against Aston Villa on Sunday. We know that he won't, but Jorgensen really, really impressed. Some really good saves, kept us in the game, and this demonstrated that, supposedly for someone that's not got great distribution or not really that good with the ball at his feet, which is why he's not in a team right now, he showed that he's, for me, way better than Robert Sanchez in all aspects of the game. And it should be a no-brainer, in my opinion, that Filip Jorgensen is number one. And hopefully by the end of the year, he will find himself in that number one position. We can only hope, guys. We can only hope that's the case. But yeah, thoroughly deserves that to be getting a Premier League start. Thoroughly deserves it. And hopefully that will come at some point soon. Nkunku, another half decent game. Really, should have done better with a few chances. But he did reasonably well, got his goal. He is probably knocking on the door again for a Premier League start. Sancho's first start since the game against Liverpool towards the end of October. I thought he did well, got good minutes in the tank, 2 more assists, which is really good for his confidence. I thought Mudryk was very lively, great finish. And you can see why people say when they're asked about who the best ball striker at the club is, loads of players say Mudryk, and you've seen him in the training videos banging loads of goals like that in training. Now we've seen it in a game, and it's great to see the kid developing, the kid playing with more confidence. And there's not too much more this guy can do before he gets a Premier League start. He must be really, really close. Now, I thought he was unlucky not to start against Leicester. And look, I'm not saying he's going to start against Aston Villa, but for example, the game against Southampton, I'd be looking at that as a Premier League game where Mudryk should be finding himself in the starting 11. Casadei was good in midfield, as I mentioned. Renato Vega looked calm, composed on the ball. And all in all, a largely positive night. It was very much a case of we went there, we got the job done. It was our toughest test. They did cause us a few problems, but we came through unscathed, no injuries. I know Nkunku went off and it maybe felt like he had a bit of an injury. But he didn't go straight down a tunnel or anything. He sat down on the bench. So I think that was more just a little bit of a precaution rather than anything else. But yeah, I think we can be happy. Players have been rested for the Villa game, and that's now the big focus moving forward. Aston Villa on Sunday. Let's get those 3 points and put a 6-point gap between us. But there's not really too much to say about this game other than it was a professional job. We got it done. Yes, we should have maybe scored a few more goals. Yes, we should have killed the game off much earlier than we did. I felt some of the officiating was a little bit weird. Maybe arguably we should have had a penalty in the first half. It wasn't a dive, so he rightfully didn't get booked. But then they're not giving but then they're saying there's no foul, but the contact stops Mudryk from getting through onto the ball. So that was a little bit of a strange one, to be perfectly honest. But ultimately, it didn't really matter at all in the end. And yeah, defended well. Tosin, I thought, had a reasonable game. A really good pass to Nkunku in the first half. Nkunku should have arguably could have had a hat trick. The chance that he missed in the first half, the one-on-one that he missed as well in the second half when he was played through by Joao Felix, arguably could have been another hat trick for Nkunku this season. But it wasn't to be on that one. But yeah, it's all exciting. It's all going in the right direction. It's another win for Chelsea. We keep the winning momentum going. Winning breeds confidence, a confidence in the group. Again, more minutes of players that need them, and it's an exciting time to to be a Chelsea fan again. And we've not said that for a while. Yes, it's only the Conference League, but winning is winning. And that's what this team needs right now. It just needs to win as many games of football as possible. And this Conference League is really important for the confidence of the younger players or the players that aren't playing as much. And whilst it's a competition we very much don't want to be in, this season, I think it suits us very well being in this competition with the minutes that it affords us to get other players, with the rotations that we can make given the strength of the other teams in the competition, particularly this stage of it. No doubt Lavia, Cole Palmer, etc. Wesley Fana will come in for the latter rounds. But yeah, it's all very exciting. It's all going in the right direction. And yeah, we move on to Sunday. But that's just my thoughts on the game, guys. Professional job, defended reasonably well. Should have killed it off earlier, missed a few chances. Other than that, you know, a very accomplished evening and job done. Head back to London, rest up, recover, ready to go again on Sunday against Villa in the big game. But yeah, guys, make sure you're smashing the like, subscribe if you're new around here, all that good stuff. And I will catch you again in another one soon. Up the Chelsea and peace out, people.